Hey, Mind Body Soul Tribe, we are back again with another video. This one's about oxygen, so we're just gonna dive right in. So all about oxygen and breathing, and oxygen is so important for life. It's so important for our body, and actually every body system, every body function needs oxygen to be able to do what it's designed to do. And proper breathing really circulates that oxygen in our body. It improves mood, mental health, it cleanses your cells, your blood, your organs, and one really cool thing that oxygen does and proper breathing does is it'll activate that parasympathetic state, that parasympathetic portion of our autonomic nervous system that's the rest and digest and healing state. So one of a really cool thing that scientists have discovered, speaking about kind of the crazy times we live in where there's lots of fear and anxiety, it's one of the easiest ways to bring ourselves out of fear is actually through the breath. The breath is so powerful. They've found that the fastest way to come out of fear is through a long exhalation. And that's why a lot of times when you hear about breathing techniques, it'll be like a 1, 2, 3 inhale and then like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exhale. That's because that will start to activate that calming effect that the nervous system has on the body and will bring you down and out of fear. So that's like one of my favorite things about the breath, and it's free and it's so powerful. Like that's just as powerful as anything to be able to bring us out of fear in that like acute intense situation.
Yes, that it's huge. I mean, for me, just taking a deep breath when I'm feeling super anxious is like it immediately calms down your nervous system. You can feel it. Your whole body. It just shifts everything.
Totally.
So I love that. Just don't forget to breathe, you guys. Just take a minute. If you're feeling super stressed, just right now, even just stop, take a deep breath. Like a lot of times I'll focus on like breathing love into my body and light into my body, and just feels so good, and you can just feel a difference. I read recently that adults only use 1/3 of their lung capacity, which to me is crazy. Like we're not even using our full lung capacity. And so doing those deep breathing and a technique that we're going to go over a little bit later, it will really help you to engage in more of your lung capacity, and you'll be able to really do some deeper breathing, which cleanses your organs and everything in your body. When we're breathing like we should, it helps everything to function better.
And think about how powerful that is right now with like the respiratory virus that's going around and those kinds of viruses. Like to be able to utilize the fullness of your lung capacity, that's really powerful. You can actually be doing things right now to strengthen your lungs and build their capacity so that you have the support you need to move through anything that comes your way that might be respiratory like that. Like to have a strengthened lung capacity, it doesn't just come through cardiovascular exercise. It does come through that. But this is something powerful that you can do. It stands alone. It's so powerful.
That is so true. Yes. So don't forget like how important that is. Like make it a priority to take those deep breaths and to strengthen. I mean, it's like building a muscle, right? We need to learn how to use that full capacity, just like any other muscle in our body. And so we need to take the time to strengthen it right now. It's really important right now to do that. So one of the things that I learned years ago when I was dealing with like anxiety attacks, and when you have an anxiety attack, like you cannot breathe. And that's one thing that is something that all of a sudden you're like, I can't breathe, like you panic, you can't think clearly. And a technique that I learned that maybe some of you have already heard of, and hopefully maybe you're using, is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. And you're actually focusing on breathing throughout this entire technique. You are focusing on breathing, and you are focusing on doing a few simple steps. There's my dog. So So what you want to do, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to focus on 5 things that you can see around you in your immediate space and get really detailed, like looking at the corner of the room and the light on the wall, or if you're outside looking at the leaves, like looking at details of things that are really important, but 5 things you can see, and then 4 things you can feel. So whether it's your clothes, whether it is like a tree or a leaf or a table, like you're sitting at a table, or a chair that you're sitting in, it gets you grounded and in the now and connected to the now in the moment. So it brings you back into the now. Then naming 3 things that you can hear audibly in the room. So maybe you're hearing traffic outside. Maybe you're hearing your dog running across the floor. Maybe you're hearing like a bird chirping. Like, just focus on what you can hear in that moment. Also, then name 2 things that you can smell. So just 2 things in your space that you can smell, and then 1 thing that you're grateful for in that moment. And sometimes it's like hard to think of that one moment, especially when you're in that panic mode and space, but it actually pulls you out of that space because it lifts your frequency, it connects you to something higher, and it changes like everything in your body when you can focus on gratitude, even 1 thing. So I love that technique.
I love that. Can you do that with kids?
Oh yeah, I've done it with my kids when they've had like anxiety attacks and different things, or they're just panicking, or they can't calm down because they're upset about something. It pulls them back into the now. So do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, and it can actually become like a habit if you use it enough, because then you're like in traffic and you're upset and you can just be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just brings you back to the moment, and it's powerful.
Yeah, I love that, because all of those things are in the present moment. When we're in fear and anxiety, we're either going in the past or we're going in the future. And I love that all those are just like right there in front of us, bringing us right back to the present, just like the breath does. And putting them together, powerful.
Yep.
Okay, so some other things that you can do to bring more oxygen into your body is through food. So food is really rich in oxygen, and you're gonna find the foods that have the most oxygen are, no surprise, plants. Living things from the earth with tons of energy. So we're talking like avocados, seaweed. We've got these awesome little seaweed flakes. Tell us about seaweed, Michelle.
Seaweed is amazing because it has it can increase the oxygen in your body more than any other plant or vegetable on the planet. So it's amazing.
So cool. Yeah. Okay, so seaweed, watermelon, ripe bananas, specifically ripe, kiwi, celery. If we're friends, you know I hate celery, but I drink it every day. I was gonna say I love celery. I don't love celery, but I drink the juice every day. And so garlic and sprouts and even raisins. Do we have raisins?
Yeah.
Oh, we have raisins.
Got raisins.
Isn't that crazy that something even dehydrated, like that has the water pulled out, can be high in oxygen and really easy to store? So if like fresh produce isn't something that's available where you are, and you still want to have those like high vibrating, high oxygenating plants to be able to consume, something like this would be great.
Yep.
And speaking of plants.
So plants are, I've always been like super drawn to plants, and I want them in my space because I really, truly, if you guys like want to know the truth, I just want to live outside like for the rest of my life. Like
I'll go with you. Let's do it.
Let's go. I just want to live outside in a teepee in the mountains, so surrounded by plants. I just want to be surrounded by nature. But nature is so healing, you guys, and there are certain plants that actually cleanse the air better than others. And I learned about this a few years ago, and then I went and got those plants because I was like, I want them in my home, cleansing my air, because sometimes our homes can be really super toxic, actually. Stagnant air. We don't get the circulation we need, especially if we don't open our windows and stuff. But we need to cleanse our space. Our home should be a place of healing. So so having certain plants, there's like the spider plant cleanses the air of toxins. The peace lily plant cleanses the air. Weeping fig plants cleanse the air. Also aloe. So that's my cute little aloe plant right there. And then also
The snake plant.
the snake plant. And it is, I'm gonna bring him up. He wants to
Yeah,
be by us.
they need to be highlighted.
Yeah. So you guys have seen these plants. They're like so beautiful and bright and happy.
They're also called mother-in-law's tongue.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And then aloe, you guys know aloe, our friend aloe, who's like has lots of healing properties.
Lots. Yeah.
Amazing for lots of things. So plants, don't forget about plants. And like if you're focusing on having a cleaner home, don't forget about having some plants in your space.
Love it. And while you have those plants in your space, you can sit by your plants and you can practice your breathing techniques that you can practice the one that Michelle taught. Then I'm going to teach you another one that's based from the practice of Kundalini Yoga. So it's like a 5,000-year-old practice. It's it's called the Diamond of Yogas because it's the original yoga where kind of all the other ones have broken off from. Sort of incorporates all aspects of yoga, one of them being breath work. So I'm going to teach you a Kundalini Yoga breath that you can do on your own. It's my very favorite one of all the Kundalini breaths that I've learned and tried. I do it in traffic. It helps calm me down when I'm stressed or overwhelmed as a mom. The really powerful thing to understand about breath, you guys, is that it will help our minds. It will help our anxiety, because what happens is the body, where you feel anxiety and where you feel tension, follows the mind. So wherever the mind is going, the body will follow. But the mind follows the breath. So if you are stressed and your breath starts to become shallow, short, tight, high up in your lungs, then you will see that your mind will continue to reel. The story will keep going, that anxiety. Then your body will also tense up and your heart will race. So it's this big cycle and they follow each other. So I'll say it again, the body follows the mind and the mind follows the breath, which is why the breath is so powerful for mental health. If you slow your breath down, you slow your mind down, and then you slow your body down, and then everything starts to become relaxed. And when you take a subconscious process like respiration, you're not thinking about breathing all day long. Your body's doing it for you, because if you had to think about it all day, like, that would be overwhelming. There's other important things to do. But if you take a few minutes every day, I like to say 8, that's kind of like a magic number, and you bring consciousness, conscious breathing, where you are directing your breath. When you bring consciousness to a subconscious process, you can in turn heal subconscious beliefs, subconscious patterns, emotions that are stored subconsciously in the body. It is so powerful and totally underestimated as like a really powerful tool. So I'm going to teach you one breath called alternate nostril breathing. And I want you to just kind of notice where your body is right now. Just track your body. Track your breath right now. What are you doing? Are you breathing fast? Are you listening to us and you're hurrying and doing dishes? Are you calmly on the couch? Are you, sitting restfully somewhere? Are you busy? Are you driving? Just notice, what's your breath doing right now? Is it short and shallow, or is it long and relaxed? You don't have to change it yet. Just notice and just track. Then kind of notice what your emotions are doing right now. Where are you at emotionally? What are your thoughts? What thoughts have been coming through your mind as you've been listening to this video or watching it? And now we're going to try this breath, and we're going to notice the shifts that happen. So I want you to take your right hand, and I don't know if I'm backwards for you, but I'm just going to tell you right. So you do right, okay? And you're going to take your right thumb, and you're going to plug your right nostril, and you're going to inhale through your left nostril. So you need nostrils that are clear. Blow your nose first if you have to, okay? So you're going to take your right thumb and plug this right nostril, inhale through your left, and you're going to inhale through your belly. I forgot to start to tell you guys this before, but you're going to inhale and draw and allow your belly to expand first. So as you inhale that air, it's going down, it's expanding your belly out. Then your chest rises and then your clavicle. Okay, that's proper breathing. If you're not breathing that way, you're breathing backwards. And breathing backwards will lock in the stress and emotions and tension that you don't want in your body. Okay, so we're gonna breathe, we're gonna inhale, draw the belly out, extend it out, and then your chest and clavicle. And then you're gonna switch and you're gonna close your left nostril and exhale out your right. Now hold here and inhale through your right nostril. And switch and exhale. Inhale. Switch, and when you exhale, draw the belly in first. Then let your chest fall. Inhale through, extend the belly. Chest, clavicle, switch, exhale, draw the belly in first. Let the chest fall and the clavicle fall. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. You can keep going if this feels good, but I already feel shifty.
Yeah, yeah.
I call it shifty. Do you know
Yeah.
why that happens, you guys? Is because you're getting more oxygen in your body. So if you get a little lightheaded, if you feel kind of high, my friends that I call it shifty, they're like, oh, Melissa's getting shifty eyes. That's because you're actually getting the oxygen into your organs and blood
I felt
that
it in
it
my brain.
needs. Did you feel it in your brain?
Oh.
A lot of people will feel it in their brain, or they'll feel it kind of swirly like this. How long was that? Like a minute?
Yeah.
A minute can shift so much for you just with the breath. The other cool thing about the right and left, if you're wondering, like, why do we do that? It balances your right and left hemispheres. It grounds you. It centers you. You have channels in your system for breath and energy, and it activates and balances each of those channels in addition to your lungs. So it's a really powerful tool. I invite you guys to try it, to practice it, to teach your kids. Like, I feel so good.
I do too. I feel like so calm. I feel like I
know.
release like a lot of stress.
It's true. So just notice how your body feels. Notice how it feels after, and remember that. Like, seal that in. Remember and remember that feeling, and remind your body, like, this is how quickly that we can come into a peaceful state. That's how powerful the breath is.
Yes, I love it. That's so amazing. Look at all these tools. We just gave you like so many tools. So store those in your brain. Make sure that you're actually starting to do these. Like, take these in as part of your life now, and start using them, because I promise you, we're gonna need these tools like moving forward more and more. So these are really powerful tools, you guys. I hope you use them, and I hope you teach other people if you feel inspired to, and especially your kids, your family. Like, teach these techniques to other people, and it's gonna help everyone. It's gonna be great.
Yep. Happy breathing.
Yay! See ya.